Inside your body, an extraordinary system works every second of every day. The circulatory system, your body's delivery network, transports oxygen, nutrients, and vital signals to every single cell. At its center sits the heart, pumping life through a vast network of arteries, veins, and capillaries. Let's trace this incredible journey from beginning to end. Let's begin inside the lungs, where oxygen enters the blood. Clustered like tiny grapes, alveoli are microscopic air sacs surrounded by a dense web of pulmonary capillaries. When you inhale, oxygen floods into these sacs. It then diffuses, crossing the thin membrane, directly into red blood cells, turning the blood a bright, rich red. Simultaneously, carbon dioxide travels the opposite direction out of the blood, into the alveolus, and exhaled with every breath. This is gas exchange, and it happens billions of times throughout your life. Now the oxygen-rich blood is ready to move. It flows out of the lungs through the pulmonary veins, four vessels that carry oxygenated blood directly to the heart. This blood enters the left side of the heart, filling the left atrium, the upper left chamber. Notice the blood is bright red here, fully loaded with oxygen and ready to be pumped to the rest of the body. From the left atrium, blood passes through the mitral valve, also called the bicuspid valve. This valve acts like a one-way gate. When it opens, blood flows down into the left ventricle, the heart's most powerful pumping chamber. When it closes, it prevents blood from flowing backwards. Watch the valve open as the ventricle fills. This precise mechanical action keeps blood moving in only one direction. Now the left ventricle contracts, a powerful squeeze that forces blood upward through the aortic valve and into the aorta. The aorta is the largest artery in the body, a thick, arching vessel that carries all the oxygenated blood away from the heart. Each contraction creates the pulse you feel in your wrist. This single pumping action drives blood through thousands of kilometers of vessels, reaching every organ, muscle, and tissue in your body. From the aorta, blood enters a vast branching highway. Large arteries carry the blood away from the heart. These thick-walled vessels withstand enormous pressure with every heartbeat. As the arteries travel further from the heart, they branch into smaller arteries and then into arterioles, the tiny gateways that direct blood into specific tissues. Think of it like a highway narrowing into neighborhood streets. At the tissue level, the arterioles feed into capillaries, vessels so thin that red blood cells pass through them single file. This is where the real work happens. Oxygen and nutrients leave the blood and pass directly into the surrounding cells, fueling every muscle contraction, every brain signal, every heartbeat. At the same time, the cells release carbon dioxide as waste, which enters the blood and begins its return journey. Every organ in your body, muscles, brain, liver, kidneys, skin, depends on this microscopic exchange. With oxygen delivered and carbon dioxide collected, the blood must return to the heart. Tiny venules collect the deoxygenated blood from the capillaries. These drain into veins, larger vessels with thinner walls than arteries, carrying blood under much lower pressure. All the veins of the upper body drain into the superior vena cava. All the veins from the lower body drain into the inferior vena cava. Both pour their dark blue, carbon dioxide-laden blood directly into the right atrium, completing the systemic loop. Inside the right atrium, the deoxygenated blood collects before being passed to the next chamber. The tricuspid valve, named for its 3 leaflets, opens to allow blood to flow downward into the right ventricle. Like all heart valves, it closes firmly to prevent backflow. The right ventricle is thinner walled than the left, because it only needs to pump blood a short distance to the nearby lungs. But its job is equally critical. The right ventricle contracts and forces blood upward through the pulmonary valve into the pulmonary artery. This vessel is unique. It is the only artery in the human body that carries deoxygenated blood. It branches into left and right pulmonary arteries, each heading to one lung. Here the blood is dark blue, depleted of oxygen, rich in carbon dioxide, returning to the lungs where it all began. And we are back to where we started, the lungs. The deoxygenated blood, now arriving through the pulmonary arteries, reaches the alveoli once more. Oxygen floods in. Carbon dioxide flows out. The blood transforms from dark blue to bright red in seconds. This cycle never stops. Not once in your entire lifetime. Right now, your blood is completing this full circuit in approximately 60 seconds, and your heart will do it billions of times before your life is through. Now let's study the heart itself, the engine that drives this entire system. This cutaway view reveals everything inside. On the right side, shown in dark blue, deoxygenated blood flows through the right atrium, past the tricuspid valve, into the right ventricle, and out through the pulmonary valve into the pulmonary artery toward the lungs. On the left side, shown in bright red, oxygenated blood enters through the pulmonary veins into the left atrium, flows through the mitral valve into the powerful left ventricle, and is ejected through the aortic valve into the aorta. The septum, the muscular wall dividing the heart, ensures these two blood flows never mix. Let's watch the complete journey one final time. Oxygenated blood leaves the lungs through the pulmonary veins into the left atrium, through the mitral valve into the left ventricle, through the aortic valve into the aorta, branching through arteries and arterioles, through capillaries where oxygen is delivered, collecting into veins, into the superior and inferior vena cava, into the right atrium, through the tricuspid valve into the right ventricle, through the pulmonary valve, into the pulmonary artery, and back to the lungs. One complete circuit. Continuously. Ceaselessly. For every second of your life. The circulatory system continuously delivers oxygen and nutrients to every cell while removing carbon dioxide and waste, keeping the body alive. From the first beat of a developing heart to the last breath of a long life, this system never rests, never pauses, never fails. It is one of the most extraordinary mechanisms in the natural world. And right now, it is working perfectly inside you.